so glad you could join me this afternoon. If it's afternoon in your time, welcome. Morning, buongiorno, buonasera. Welcome into my kitchen. I'm cooking a vegan, lactose and gluten-free nut loaf. I do a lot of vegan cooking because my son Joey is a vegan, and so I've been experimenting and trying to come up with different methods and techniques of cooking vegan food and making it delicious and nutritional. And last Tuesday I made a really beautiful nut loaf for my son Joe, and I did it with the brown lentils. I put artichokes and I had some broccoli. I put that in with it too, and I had some beautiful almonds, and I mixed it up and it actually came really delicious. So today I've decided to do one for myself with black beans instead of brown lentils. I used a can of black beans and I blitzed it in my food processor, and it comes like this, like a paste. And I put the handful of almond nuts in with it, and I had a bit of spinach, which you can see there, and I put some, I don't know if we're allowed to do this, some hemp seeds. Love hemp seeds. I put hemp seeds on my breakfast. I put hemp seeds when I did Joey's nut loaf last week, and I've put hemp seeds in this one, just a handful, and I put hemp seeds when I'm having my breakfast as well. Very good for you. And I put some dukkah. I don't know if you've heard about the dukkah. I love it because it's got pistachio and thyme, and it's a beautiful seed. It's got lemon in it as well. So I just put a bit of, just to show you how, I can't even show you. There you go. Can you see that? A little bit close up. There you go. These seeds, it's got sesame seeds in it. I think it's got a bit of curry in it as well. Let me see what it says. Blended of roasted nuts, sesame seeds and spices. It's an Egyptian origin. Crunchy. So I've put it in there with that. I've put a tablespoon of this confit garlic that I make. And if you don't know how to make it, you can go on my YouTube channel and you can watch me make it, and it's very easy, and you can make it at home, and it's really good preserve. It stays for months in your fridge. I put some artichokes. I had some beautiful artichokes in oil, and I blitzed them up and I pureed them. And I'm actually going to use this and make myself a sauce with Napoli and put that on top of this nut loaf and use that like a gravy. So I've got more nutrition in the nut loaf. So I've also used this gluten-free bread, which is got maize, rice flour, potato starch for people that have got gluten intolerances. And I toasted it. I toasted and fried it with some leeks. So I put half a leek, diced it, fried it, put a little bit of the confit garlic in it, and then I toasted it. So it gives it that nice flavour. So I put that in there. I've got some cayenne pepper. I always use cayenne pepper instead of pepper in my food. If you follow me, you know that of my food intolerances, and I find that this is very good for my stomach, and it doesn't give me that pepper does and chili does. Absolutely brilliant. I can't boast more about it or tell you about it as much as I love this. I've been having this for over 30 years. I followed, when I was in my 30s, I started this diet. It's called Eat Right for Your Blood Type diet. So while being Italian, you can't not eat a lot of the food that we grow up in. So I took the best out of the diet and the well-being and the book out of it. Like, I take out of the best out of everything and I utilize it. So, and I found that this was just brilliant, and it did say for people that are O positive, which I'm an O positive, have food intolerances, and not to have pepper, because pepper is a bit too strong in your gut. And cayenne pepper, you would think it, but the way that it's been treated, and the cayenne pepper, how it is, it's a lot more gentler than actually the peppercorns. So that's a bit of a thing there. And macadamia oil. I substitute this when I do cakes instead of butter. Instead of anything, I just always use macadamia oil. It makes a big difference. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of macadamia oil on this. So you can actually add whatever leftover. I had on Tuesday for Joey, I had leftover broccoli, and I blitzed it and put it in with it. Whatever vegetables you've got, you can add it. I had to put the spinach in it, so I'm going to stir this. For him, I actually put I found a recipe that helped me to see what worked well for him, and I found that it needed yeast was a binding agent. Now, if you're not vegan and you're a vegetarian, you can use eggs, you can use flour, you can use corn flour. That is great as a gluten intolerant, people with gluten intolerance. I use corn flour in just about everything as a binding agent. I did put a half a teaspoon of baking powder for Joe, and I put 2-3 teaspoons of corn flour in with his. On mine, because I've used the gluten-free breadcrumbs, and because I've decided to look after my health, I'm trying to stay clear as much of carbs as I can. And this nut loaf is really, really, really going to do exactly what I say. So, and I'm going to put a handful of chopped sage from my garden. Absolutely. Do you love sage? Oh my God. Try it in your cooking. Fry it with garlic and then add it to your ingredients. Absolutely delicious. So I'm going to put in this raw. And first make sure that I haven't forgotten anything, because then I get to talk and I forget about what I'm going to say. And so I've got some grease-proof paper that I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put it down so you can see me. After I put this on the grease-proof paper, I'm going to move the video so you can see only what I'm doing. And you can watch me do this. Okay, so don't worry about that noise, that's just my coffee machine. So fold this, and you don't get dirty, hands dirty. Go on each side. I've probably got more. Let it set. So for Joey, I did it early in the morning, and he didn't come for dinner until late in the evening. So it had about 5-6 hours to set. This one you can prepare it. I'm preparing this for myself for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven with some take it out of the grease-proof paper. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of olive oil and rosemary on the bottom of the grease-proof pan. And then I'm gonna put that on top, put a little drizzle of olive oil. If you wanna put anything on top, you can. You can actually add some more artichokes and paste them on top. You can add, some breadcrumbs, and you can put them on top to make it nice and crunchy. You can add some pistachio nuts, crushed pistachio nuts, or some walnuts, crushed walnuts, and add it on top. And so when it cooks, it's really nice, gonna be nice and crunchy. And then you cook it for about 45 minutes on about 175 degrees. And then you let it sit after you take it out, and then you just slice it for whatever you need it. You can, and then put it in sealed containers, and you can have it for lunch, refry it on the frying pan, and have it just like a burger. There's so many ways that you can do it. So I'm going to use a sauce that I've got, and I'm going to use it with the rest of these artichokes, and I'm going to make a little Napoli with beautiful garlic, fresh basil, and some of that with some virgin olive oil, and oh my God, it's going to be delicious. And so I'm going to paste it on instead of gravy, and that will be my dinner. What else did I want to tell you, in case I'm sure something will pop up, and we'll go there. I hope that's been a little bit different. These are my inventions that I've been learning and going by, and it's great because it is gluten-free, it is lactose-free, and it's vegan as well. It also is keto, so it's great nutrition and fiber. You can add some sprinkle of fiber in it. Well, it's already got fiber from the beans, so you don't really need to have a lot of fiber. But if you're finding that you're being bound by a lot of beans, you know, you can add some, I used to put bran in for my children so that they could go to the toilet, a sprinkle of bran in there, and that really helps. There's so many ways of cooking. Cooking is really a way of nurturing yourself and giving to you what your body needs. And it's important today more than ever that we look after our health. And while we are in lockdown, to be able to utilize this time to look after ourselves. And it's like a muscle that we need to constantly work at, because we never can master it. It's just, we're never going to get there, and we're never going to get, do it, but we're going to try to give it our best shot. And cooking is about looking after our health and giving back to ourselves what our body and what our soul and our spirit requires. Very important, very important. If we learn this, apart from anything else in life, we realize that cooking is sacred. It really is. I can't emphasize it any more than by constantly saying that and telling you. And so hopefully if I've got some time tomorrow when I do cook it, I'll make it, and I'll make the sauce, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the sauce. And even with this, for breakfast, I've been doing also adding the artichokes with some zucchini and some eggs and a little bit of corn flour, parsley, garlic, and making little fried things. We call them fritelli, and adding them like little fritters for breakfast in the morning, and then topping them with the artichokes again. Artichokes are just delicious. They really, really are. They've got a real nutty taste. So they are the vegan's delight, the vegetarian's delight, and the carnivore's delight. I hope that you're well and that you have a good weekend. In the Jewish tradition, tonight is Yom Kippur, which is the coming of the new year, where we eat, a lot of people, the tradition eats for coming into the new year a lot of raw foods, and that's why I made this for raw foods, and to celebrate the new year. So to my Jewish friends out there, we celebrate Yom Kippur, which is the coming of the new year. I hope that you have a great weekend and that you're safe and we get through this COVID together. We will see each other soon. Saluti a tutti, and look after yourself. Remember, cooking is sacred. Ciao.